Don't talk. No, you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. It is episode 22 of the Backpackers Blitz. We have a lot to talk about tonight. Devin is going to run the show here in a little bit, and we're going to talk to Parker, who did her first backpacking trip. She's our first guest, and of course, we have Rob and Jennel, and my good buddy Preston. We're going to get back to those guys in just a second. Real quick, we're doing a special on the website, Hilltop Packs, right now. If you want to get a trial, or what is that noise? Okay, what is that noise?
Why does every show start like this?
Pretty much.
I don't hear anything.
I hear something crazy happening.
It was definitely Devin then.
Yeah, it was.
He's over there fishing. Okay.
Maybe.
It might be. Okay, here we go. So we're doing special hilltoppacks.com right now. You can get a trial, any one of the trials we have from Apex Giant for 50% off. Use code DIG. All you have to do is add anything else to the cart and then add a trial, and you'll get 50% off by using code DIG. We'll put that in the chat here a little bit later on. A couple other things. We've got the affiliate program. We've been growing that at Hilltop Packs as well. You go to the bottom of the webpage on the main page or any page and click on the affiliate link, and you can sign up for an affiliate account. If you have a YouTube channel or TikTok or any other social media account, you can do that, any kind of social following. And right now I'm going to turn it over to my buddy Devin, who's going to run the show tonight. I'm looking forward to talking to Parker, who I've known since she was a little kid. And that is Preston's daughter, by the way. Preston's right there. He's the chaperone. He's not going to say a whole lot tonight. He's just making sure we all stay in line with his daughter. And so, Devin, be good. Here you go.
So I just want to say, Ben, can you please say the word trowel one more time?
Trowel.
Perfect. All right. I just had to get that.
Trowel.
That's what I was thinking. Thank you, Rob.
I don't want to hear the guy from Canada tell me how to speak.
Furthermore, one more question, Ben. Can you spell the word trowel for us?
No, please, no. Hold on.
TROWL.
Someone,
Siri. No, I don't have an iPhone.
someone has to proofread everything before it goes on the website. I'm assuming.
Makes it more fun. If anybody's been to our coffee shop, we have this big old sign, and it shows the history of history of RGB and the town we live in. It's a big old big poster I printed out, and I misspelled Waynesburg and I misspelled university. And instead of getting a new one, I just scribbled it out and wrote Ben can't spell, and it's literally the showcase picture in our shop. Now it's a conversation piece.
I've never seen it. I gotta check it out.
It's not a mistake. It's an Easter egg.
It's an Easter egg. All right, carry on, Mr. Devin.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us on this week's Backpacker Blitz. I am obviously fishing for compliments, so hopefully I catch some. So this week, Parker, you went on your first backpacking trip ever. And you were saying that this was something you would never do, or you never thought you would do. Why did you decide to go on a backpacking trip? I can't speak now. Ben can't spell and I can't speak.
Well, my dad started backpacking with Ben around like 8 years ago. So that would have put me in maybe like 9th grade of high school. So I, of course, was just like, I grew up like in the woods with my dad, always like going on little hikes around like Ohio Pile or even.
You weren't homeless, just to clarify. You guys weren't homeless.
Oh, yeah, no. Like I just
I
always
grew up in the woods with my dad.
You know, this is our house. I swear we do have a house. But yeah, so I always like grew up in the woods, but like sleeping in a tent and backpacking, carrying my life with me in my bag just through all the mountains and everything was just something I was like, I'm never doing that. It just was not something that I wanted to do.
Had you gone camping and stuff before or no?
No, really. I
Okay.
haven't. So I just kind of never wanted to do it because I thought it was like really just like roughing it and it was just going to be terrible. Like you have to get your water from a stream, like you have to carry this food, you have nothing else to rely on except what you bring with you. And every time Dad went, I just thought it sounded like a nightmare. And I was like, good luck. And I always would get scared when he went. Like I was like, oh my God, like something's going to happen. Like I'm so scared. Like I'd be like, I love you, Dad. Like come back safe in a couple of days.
Yeah. When the phrase "when nature calls" it hits different when you're actually out in nature as well.
I don't know. So now I'm 23 and I don't know, maybe I grew up or maybe I just started to like want to adventure a little bit more. And this year I've been on this like big journey of being in flight school. And so I've kind of been pushing my own personal boundaries. And I guess with that, I have overcome a lot of challenges and something that my dad was doing. He was like going on a hike and he sent me pictures afterwards. And I was just like, that's beautiful. I don't care how hard it is. I'm going to do it. And so I told Dad, I was like, you know what? I think I can do this. And all it took was me saying one time, I think I'm going to go hiking. Like, I want to do it. And he immediately was like putting plans into motion. And I just got back I've been living in North Carolina the past year doing flight school. And so as soon as I got back, he was like, okay, we're planning it. And a week after I moved in from North Carolina, we went on our backpacking journey through the sods, as we call it now. Sods. So yeah, it was so fun.
Nice. And so Preston, you were, super excited that your daughter wanted to take part in your hobby, I guess.
Yeah. I wanted to share it, I guess. So I was afraid. I knew that she would like the process. I was afraid that she would not like the sleeping, and she handled that like a rock star. I don't know if you could add up all the sleep I have done over the past 8 years could accumulate to her first night in the tent. I think she had like close to 10 hours.
Yeah,
nice.
Share the stats with us, Parker. You're a watch
yeah.
person.
So this is not just like, hey, I think I went to bed at this time. I woke up at this time. I'll actually tell you before. As soon as we got to camp, it was raining. Oh, there's my mom. Okay, everyone's here.
Hi, Patty.
So we got to camp and it started to kind of rain a little bit. And I don't know, it was just like we settled in. Dad built my tent for me, I'm not gonna lie. And it was like sitting there and it was raining and I was like, I kind of want to take a nap. So I went and took a nap. And then the whole rest of the evening went on and it's about like 9 o'clock and I'm like, oh, I'm like winding down and ready for bed. I go lay in my tent. I woke up in the morning and I got 9 hours and 45 minutes of sleep, most of it being REM and deep sleep. I slept so good.
You guys hiked a lot before that? Like how much, what kind of ground did you guys cover that day then? Or was it a shorter day? How far?
A little under 5 miles.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But the fresh air and the exercise, it just knocks you out. And if it's raining as well, that definitely helps.
Gosh, it was so good. I don't know.
And if I could jump in real quick. So everybody that went on the trip is actually on the screen. So Tim went, Preston went, Jennel went, Rob went, Patty stayed home because she's a wimp. And I didn't meet up with them until the next day after Preston and Parker left. So that's why everybody's on the screen. But good, carry on.
I was curious, what did your dad prep you with before we went out? Just not physically help, like figuring things out, but what did he tell you to help you out?
Oh, horror stories. Like he told me it was just I'm not gonna lie, guys. I went in there with this whole like imagining it being like the worst hike ever. I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be terrible. Like it's going to be grueling. Sleeping is going to be so hard. Like I went to Hilltop Packs and I was like, I want like the warmest stuff. Like I want to be like cozy. Like I get cold at night. And I was like so scared that I was going to be genuinely miserable. And as the week went on, we're preparing even more and we're watching the weather. The weather's turning bad. It's going to rain. It's going to thunderstorm. And I'm like, should we call it? Like, I don't know. I was scared. I was really intimidated by everything that I heard because I think he was kind of preparing me for the worst, but it turned out to be the best. So it worked.
Well, and I'll add to that a little bit. So a lot of us, having backpacking experience, we kind of grew up and we kind of learned those hard lessons the hard way, trying out gear that doesn't work and just kind of going through that process. Now, having these amazing, legendary, professional backpacking contacts around you, the gear you started off with was probably a little nicer than most of us started out with. Right, let's not lie. Like a custom backpack, like a super fancy tent, nice pad, like a top of the line top quilt. Like, yeah, you were fine. You were just fine.
Well outfitted.
So guys, we got a few comments. We got a few comments here. I want to kind of jump up here. So Greg Morton says, "Congrats on flight school." I'm assuming he's talking to Parker. No one else is taking flight school.
I get pretty high once in a while.
I was going to make that
we
joke.
know you do. Don't bring work into it.
I had to beat you all too. Don't bring work into it.
I should add that I had no sleep aids. I didn't have any alcohol.
Sure you did. Fresh air.
Yeah,
No
I didn't
heroin.
have melatonin. I didn't have anything. I just had a great night.
Yeah, so
And
right
that
here,
surprised you big time, I take it? That you
Oh
you
my
thought you
God.
weren't going to sleep at all?
It surprised everybody. They're like, if you hear things in the night, like don't get scared. I didn't
It's a
hear
bear.
anything.
It's a bear. 100% a
Immediately, it's a
rabid
bear.
bear.
Yeah, they all prepared me. They all were like, you're gonna hear there's deer in these woods. Like, don't be scared if you hear
Skinwalkers.
Skinwalkers.
All right, so-
I am down that rabbit hole. I was aware of that.
a few more comments. So Corey here says it's great to have a good first night camping. That's awesome. A lot of us did not have a very first good night. Preston, your dad can tell you his first night out was awful. We've told that story many times on the show.
But that was just because he was with Ben, actually. It had nothing to do with everything
Totally
else.
booby trapped his tent. His tent leaked the entire night. Okay, so another one. Booper says we should have taken you snipe hunting. That would have been hilarious.
Do you know what that is out here in PA? Is that a thing here too?
Yes. Basically,
you know.
you send them out like a bag or something like that, and you tell them that we're going to go around there and chase these, snipe to you. You just got to catch them in the bag, and then just leave them out there. But that's a great way to lose a daughter.
Yep. So much more happened to this. So the fact that you got out on the trail, just showing up is what's the most impressive part of the fact that you're like, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to try it, and you found out that you liked it, and hopefully you continue this outdoor journey. But you started much earlier than Jennel and I did. We got a late start, so we were hiking in kind of a different way, through Dolly Sods. Dolly Sods actually has some elevation, some steep climbs, and it's a Saturday, so this place is very, very crowded. And who knows about the coyote?
Oh yeah, we better talk about the coyote story.
Let's talk about.
I haven't heard
coyote.
this story.
Oh, this is
You
wonderful.
can tell the whole thing. It doesn't bother me at all. Go for it.
All right. So this happened just about 30 yards from me. So as we're climbing up this hill, you run into different groups, taking breaks, things like that. Jennel was ahead of me by, I don't know, you're probably what, quarter mile ahead of me? Yeah, something like that. So we come across this group taking a break, and there's one big long log across the trail that you have to step over. There was a person sitting on the log along with a boxer, a little cute boxer dog. There was another guy sitting on some rocks wearing like full camo military gear. He had a morale patch that said "Embrace the suck," and he had his combat boots on. He had his rucksack, chest rig. I mean, this guy was marching to or from what, not sure, but hey, you do you. You're outside, no big deal. Talked with them a little bit and proceeded. Now, when Jennel passed this group, she said hi to the dog. The dog didn't like her, which offended her because Jennel loves all dogs.
I love dogs.
But she just said, hey, just, FYI, my partner's going to be coming up the hill, and he doesn't like dogs as much as I do, just an FYI. So she continues up the hill. I come across this group, say hi, see the dog, no big deal. But as I step over the log, right, past the dog, I notice an AR-15 leaning up against the log.
For those that don't know, well, yeah, sorry.
An AR-15 is it's one of the military style rifles, the big scary ones. This one was painted camo, which is why I didn't see it. But whatever, I know about guns. I didn't really think anything of it, and I just kept hiking. Got about 30 yards away, and I hear this group behind me start yelling, "Hey, get back! Huh, ha!" Didn't know if they were talking to me. Right, turn around. Are they pointing a gun at me? I don't know. And then they start yelling even louder. So I just yell back at them, "What is it? Is it a bear?" The guy said, "No, it's a coyote." And I kind of looked down the trail back to where they were. And sure enough, there was a coyote darting, going after their dog, and it wouldn't leave. I saw him pick up a rock, and he chucked this big rock and hit this coyote. The coyote tumbled down the trail, and I kind of scurried away and then came right back in. And then about 5 seconds later, boom! Right? And I was like, oh! Jennel is now down the trail. She probably thought I got shot. Who knows? And I said, "Did you get him?" And he was like, "Yeah, dead, clear." And evidently this coyote attacked someone else earlier in the day or earlier in the week. So, so now there's this coyote with a headshot sitting in the middle of the trail. It was just like, what is happening?
That's crazy.
But they had to leave it there and report it. And so the Rangers can come get it and see if it was sick or not. But that all happened.
I was going to say, if it's
quickly.
Attacking people, it's probably sick with something anyways.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was something like it all. Whew.
From my perspective, because they didn't create any space on the trail to go around the dog.
Yeah, they were on the trail.
Yeah, they were on the trail. So Rob does get nervous around dogs. And so I wanted them to create the space so you could actually go through safely. And I thought that Rob got bit, and I heard yelling. And I'm like, oh no, Rob is getting in an argument. He got bit. And then all of a sudden, boom.
Rob shot the dog. That's it. He had enough. And
I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
Around to go help. I was like, oh my God, I better turn around to make sure he's safe.
I have a question for Patty real quick. So, Preston has been backpacking for about 8-9 years, whatever. You watched him leave and go on trips with me for 8 or 9 years. I'm sure you got used to that. But what was it like watching Parker, someone you actually care about, go leave out on a backpacking trip? How did you feel about that?
No, I care about both of them. Yeah, I knew she was.
No one's watching. She can be honest. It's not a big deal.
Her stuff for 3 days. She had great equipment. I think when she left, her bag was only like 13 pounds. They were very proud of that. They weigh their bags. Preston's was 15. Hers was 13.
Nice.
I told them, I'll go, but I don't want any bag. You're going to carry my stuff, and I'll go, but I'm not carrying anything. So guess what? I stayed home. So it's all right. But I knew she was in good hands. She was so bummed, though, when she came back because she didn't get to hike with Ben. She was like hilltop, backpacking. She had all the gear, but she didn't get to hike with Ben.
Next time. We're going to take her in the snow. We're going to get her out there.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Winter. Okay, so I just need to settle this for everyone, because whenever I say I go backpacking or hiking or camping in the wintertime, people are like, oh, that's crazy. No, it's not crazy if you have the right gear. If you have the right gear to go, you enjoy it. So
it's nice.
No, don't knock it till you try it. Honestly, something about sleeping when it's cold outside, it's just sleeping outside when it's super chilly and you're nice and cozy and you're 15 pounds of down.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It feels like an accomplishment to be warm.
It does.
That too.
The only
Hey,
time it really
Parker,
sucks is like when you first get out of your tent, like in the morning, or if
Yeah.
you're like
Yeah.
me at 52 years old, where you pee 5 times a night. That part sucks too.
Well, you got to
There-
go with the people who like getting up and making a fire, and it makes it easier for you to get out of your tent in the morning. But I will say, cold weather makes hot drinks taste better. They make warm food taste better.
Yep.
And then once you get to the under freezing club, that's an accomplishment. Once you get to the sub freezing club, that's even a bigger accomplishment. And especially if you keep all your fingers and toes.
Yeah, I think it was like minus 22 when I went this past year Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's
That's legit.
enjoyable. It's enjoyable, kind of. But Parker, you were saying you were enjoying like pushing yourself and stuff like that. So don't knock it till you try it. Work your way down if you want. I mean, like this is just your first trip. So maybe don't go in like minus 30 or something crazy like that for your first winter trip. But go when it's, there's a little bit of snow and stuff on the ground.
Yeah,
And
the quilt you had was a 0-degree quilt, so you could handle some cold weather. Don't be
Especially if you're using a UGQ quilt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hashtag ad.
scared. It was actually Enlightened Equipment. So
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, don't tell Chad.
Actually, you're
Chad doesn't
wrong, Ben.
watch.
It was your quilt, and you're still wrong. What was it, Rob?
oh, it wasn't. You're right. It wasn't
It was a Sierra something.
no,
Sierra Design?
Oh no, it was Cedar
No.
Ridge. They went out of business.
Cedar Ridge.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was Cedar
Cedar
Ridge.
Ridge. Yeah.
My
Sierra,
bad.
that's right.
It's a sweet quilt, though.
Yeah.
She even liked the food.
Oh, yeah.
That was on my list. So what did you guys have for food? Was it just one night? Was it that you guys went?
Yeah, but we
Dad
had
and I
plenty of
just
food.
went for one night, and we got the food from Hilltop Packs. We got the trail goods. I think is it called trail goods?
Nice. Yep. That's
Okay,
one
yeah.
of them.
So that's what I got. I got the spicy creamy chicken pasta. I ate it and I was like, oh my god, this is so good. Like I would have expected this to come out of like my mom's crock pot that she like cooked all day. Like it was really good. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat anything. I really
Mom
like
looks offended.
no, it was also I'm sorry, I was laughing at my dog earlier, like him laying on my mama's hilarious.
Look at him.
But no, the food was so good. And then in the morning, I had the pica, I think it is like oats, and I had like the strawberry chocolate one and had like almonds in it. Also, I thought was very, very good. Like my food was, I was like, oh my gosh, Dad, I'm gonna have to eat like an MRE. Like I was like, this is gonna be terrible. It was good. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the only thing I told her that she would like was the food.
The food, honestly, backpacking meals have come so far. I took my mother out on a hike a few winters ago. We hiked, I don't know, like 10 kilometers, something, not that crazy. And we
Nobody
stopped
knows how far
halfway.
that is.
I don't know. It's like, 35 or 6 freedom units, something like that. But we stopped and I got out my stove and I made some of the Peak Refuel coconut curry, the coconut chicken curry one. And she just was eating this and she's like, oh, yeah, I would eat this at home. And so, I mean, it makes it having that warm meal at the end of the day and stuff to warm you up, especially when it's cold. You said it was raining as well. Was it raining the whole time you guys were like out there eating or no? Okay, that's good.
No,
Yeah,
we had
so
like
go ahead.
we just had a couple periods where it was like drizzling, but it was nothing terrible.
So we were out for 2 nights, whereas Parker and Preston were out for 1 night. But when Jennel and I first got on trail, we got about half a mile down trail and it downpoured, like torrential downpour. But as we continued, rain let up. It barely rained up top at all. No one knew what we were talking about, but we were soaked, like legit soaked.
Interesting. I was going to say as well, for cold weather camping, one thing we would do is take apple cider, warm it up, and add some Fireball whiskey, and it is really good. So, yeah, highly recommend that. Okay, so you had lots of different gear and stuff like that. Was there something that you're like, oh, this worked out really well, or something that was like terrible that you're like, why do people use this?
Oh, nothing that I thought wasn't necessary. Everything that I brought with me, I thought like I absolutely needed it. If I were to give up one thing that I brought with me, and I know Ben and my dad both forced me to bring them because I originally was like, I'm not doing this. The trekking poles, I could have lived without them. my tent didn't require them. I know my dad's like tent does, some of them do, but I could have lived without those, but I did use them. I'm not gonna lie. But in terms of like things that I thought like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. My whole sleeping setup. I absolutely think my tent was awesome. Of course, it rained off and on, so like there was a lot of water. Then sleeping, I don't think it got below like you guys can like check me because you guys were all with me. I can't imagine it got below like 50 degrees that night. And I, of course, like had some pretty warm stuff. Like I had a really nice sleeping pad. I made sure I took the warm sleeping pad and I had like the warm quilt and everything. So I think that my sleeping setup was just perfect. Could not have been better.
Nice.
I have to ask because most backpackers in their journey start with a sleeping bag and then they get tempted to try a quilt. So what did you think of sleeping in a quilt?
I thought it was awesome. So mine that I had kind of like wrapped around my feet, and then it kind of like came out that I could kind of wrap up in it. And then later on I asked them like, what are these like hooks for? And I guess it goes around your sleeping pad if you had like that cord. I didn't have a cord. It was just my blanket. And also I had a Hilltop Packs pillow with me. And honestly, I couldn't have asked for anything better. Everything that I slept with from the quilt to the pillow was perfect, really.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
So,
Yeah.
Preston, you're welcome.
what time did you wake up that morning? Refresh my memory.
Me?
Yeah.
About 2:30. I watched three movies. I was exhausted.
So,
I
so
sleep for
Parker
crud.
sleeps for 10 hours and Preston sleeps for 2.5.
I
Did you get up
gave her my 6.
Were you it's because you were scared, right?
Petrified.
Yeah. I was up that night scared too.
Yeah, I heard you. You sounded really scared.
I think we all woke up from Buckley.
Was I snoring? Oh, farting. Oh,
Butt trumpets,
yeah.
constant butt trumpets.
Listen, there is no more joy in life if you appreciate flatulence, that is. Then one time I was with my brother-in-law and he just dropped. It was like one of those 12-second beautiful trumpet farts as like an alarm clock for us. And I remember telling people for years after that, like, that is the hardest I have laughed waking up in my life. So I guess it's kind of like a pay it forward situation where I decided to gift my friends with Jennel and Rob got the actual the best audio because I
The
was
brunt of it.
yeah.
It
Within
was so
inches of your
loud.
tent wall. Yeah, I thought about going underneath the rainfly, but I decided to be courteous and just like blast it right up against the audio effects of the Durston.
Question for
So-
you, Tim. Do you think
Yeah.
there's any country or any culture or any time in history where a fart wasn't funny? I'm just curious.
I gotta believe it. Like it goes back to cavemen, I would sure think. And then there's probably those a-holes out there that just don't think there's any merit to a good fart.
Right. I
that
think
that
I-
shows
I-
lack of intelligence.
Right. I heard something about that. It's like I feel sorry for the people who don't think farts are funny because you get the same amount of farts, just less laughs. Right. So
Exactly.
you may as well just laugh at it.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Rob. I set you up for that. Yeah.
It was so loud.
We talked about
I
that the
was
other day.
over and I thought it was Rob. I go, Rob, was that you?
Parker, just so you know, backpackers have absolutely zero shame. We all probably have a few really good poop stories and stuff like that as well. So, did you play the Don't Poop in the Woods game?
Oh, Jennel actually really wanted me to talk about this. So I did not poop in the woods. And Jennel
coward.
was like, you have to, like your next backpacking trip, you really need to. And she wanted me to talk about that tonight. So this isn't all I'm
There
going
you
to talk
go.
about it.
See,
You
It's
heard
just
it
par
here
for the
first,
course.
folks. Parker did not shit in the woods. So now we got that out of the way.
Your dad will show you how to do it. It's not that hard.
Rob and
Dad
I synced up actually and had to go different directions at the exact same time.
you should
Brother,
yeah,
really try
brothers.
Mountain House meals. That'll help you for sure.
That'll
You
clear
won't
out,
win
yeah.
that game.
Right. And the dolly sods is pretty rooty, so I would really suggest a dig and rip, for that particular soil.
Hashtag
For
ad.
those, yeah, there it is, the dig and rip right there.
How convenient.
Nice.
How convenient.
Yeah, Ben actually doesn't let them use the bathroom at the shop.
There's just a big yard out back with a bunch of holes in it.
And a bunch of sticks just shoved in the ground. Just so you know, Parker, if you see a stick shoved in the ground that looks like it shouldn't be there, you shouldn't be there. So don't walk there.
Why am I just now getting this tip?
Yeah, just so you know.
Fair.
Uh,
We didn't want to overwhelm you with tips on your first trip.
so speaking of tips, okay, you know, I had a perfect transition and then I just tripped over
Then you
my own
blew
mouth.
it.
So do you have any tips for someone going on or like advice for someone going on their first backpacking trip?
Yes, because it's advice that I got 1,000 times, and I did need to be told it 1,000 times because my dad and Ben did the trial and error. And my dad's first pack, I think he said, was over 40 pounds. And like my mom said, I think I went into the woods, and my bag, after I added like the 2 like smart waters and some snacks and everything, I think I was about 16 pounds. And that's really, really, really good. And
Yes.
I did not overpack with clothing. I was very scared I was gonna be cold. I'm like kind of a colder person. So I was like, I want to bring this, I want to bring that. And I kept getting told, Dad would be like, no, you don't need it. No, no, no. And if I didn't have him in my ear telling me no, I would have completely overpacked. And everything that I packed was perfect. I did bring thermal leggings and I did not use those. And that was the only thing that I brought and did not use. So all I brought was I wore in a tank top, which I'm going to say, girls, don't wear tank tops. And guys, don't wear tank tops because the straps of your bag, they are going to rub. Thankfully, I didn't go for too long that I had an issue, but I did see just like a little bit of redness, and that was just something that I wasn't told. That was something that I learned on my own, actually, was don't wear a tank top. And then I wore in, because it was kind of cold when we started in the morning, I wore a long sleeve. And then all I brought after that was a thermal pullover. And that's all I brought extra. So if I wouldn't have had everyone in my ear telling me not to overpack, then I would have.
Don't pack your fears.
Yeah, don't pack your fears. And that is the best advice that I would give to any backpacker, whether it was like your first time or your third time, anything like that. That's something that now I am going to be super conscious of. Even
You
if I go
might
by
be
myself.
at 16 pounds. You might be the lightest anyone's ever been on their very first backpacking trip. I know I was in my 40s,
Yeah.
45 pounds. Preston was
Yeah.
easily in the 40s. I mean, we would have been happy with 40. We were easily probably 45. And
Yeah.
everybody I talk to starts with a big 75, 80 liter pack. They stuff it full of crap they're never going to use. So yeah, you're 16 pounds is impressive. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was very happy. I didn't have any issues, of course. I wouldn't with 16 pounds. But then my dad also carried our stove and like cooking supplies. So I had that weight off of me at least.
What about your chair? Did you take a chair?
I took a chair. Yeah, it was awesome.
Nice. So 16 pounds with a chair is also like really good. That's even better given the fact they're like a pound each. But
Yeah.
as far as you said, like you took those thermal leggings and you didn't end up using them. That's one of those things where you do have to learn as you go of like, oh, it's going to be this temperature. You know, I can actually get away without having this. And as you do this more often, you're like, oh, look at your stuff. It's always best to go through your kit after you're done and be like, I didn't even touch this. I didn't use this. And then you can kind of throw that stuff out. But I mean, it sounds like you had quite a few people helping you figure out what you needed, what you didn't need. And so, yeah, that's definitely helpful.
Yeah, I guess also I can give advice to like first time backpackers is surround yourself with people that do have experience. Like it's so exciting to like go out with your friends and try it out for your first time. And maybe it's their first time too. Like, of course, try that out. But surrounding yourself with the best people is also going to help you in the long run for sure.
You had a pretty good group of people, I guess, to bounce questions off of. So I guess ask questions if you don't know.
Of course. Yeah. And now that I want to do this more often, I kind of have got into like social media and I'm trying to like follow other groups of people. And there's a lot of people on social media that are trying to help people and show them what works for them. So even if you are by yourself and you're wanting to try this out, there's communities out there and you can make a lot of friends and just join like this live stream. This is all to like help people. So there's a lot of resources out there for maybe early on backpackers or first time backpackers. So I just don't think that like, no advice is bad advice unless, it comes from Tim, then maybe it's a better.
Okay, I have a question for you along the same line. So this is for everybody else that backpacked with her, Tim and Preston, you as well. So I know no question's a dumb question, but what is the dumbest question she asks? And Preston, you can answer as well. And so don't hurt her feelings. Don't worry about hurting her feelings. I want to know the dumbest question she asked.
She doesn't have feelings. It's fine. Go for it.
She's gonna be a pilot. She has no feelings.
Nothing. She's a smart cookie. You listen to her. She knows what she's talking about. She honestly didn't. Absolutely nothing. She didn't. I think I talked enough that she.
I think I just assumed because you asked a lot of dumb questions, Preston. So I guess I just assumed.
I do.
We
ask
figured
a
it was
lot.
genetic.
Now, the only thing that I did tell her that she did get bothered by was we kept saying we're almost there. And we started that about a mile and a half.
Yeah, but that's just a thing. You have to do that.
Yeah, that's a rite of
Now,
passage.
For those of you that haven't done the dolly sods, there's a really, it's not hard section, but it is hard. It's rocky. It's like a mile and a half of nothing but rocks. The size are a little bit bigger than your feet, and you're just constantly rolling. And her fun meter was pegged about a half a mile into that. And I just kept saying a little bit further, a little bit longer, it's going to stop. But she kept thinking I was telling her we're going to be there. And
I knew it was so close. And I was like, I know it's right there. Like I had my watch going and I was like, okay, it's like 4.5 miles. And like my watch was like right at like almost 4.5 miles. And they keep going like, we're almost there. I'm thinking like 100 yards. Like I'm thinking this next turn is going to be open up and it's going to be Lion's Head. That's not how it goes. And my fun meter was absolutely pegged. That was the only time I was like, oh my God.
Well, the one question I remember you asking right as we were getting ready for bed, you didn't know what to do with your flip-flops. You're like, what do I do with my flip-flops? We're just like,
I'm gonna leave them by the fire.
Just take them to your tent.
Yeah.
You typically don't want to leave things out because you just never know what's going to be out there. But
yeah, Tim might end up with some new flip-flops, so I'd be careful.
Yeah,
right, you never know. But I also will say with that pack weight that you had, obviously pack weight will differ depending on like the mileage that you're putting in. Like it was pretty short miles. I know I packed in 2 Cokes. I packed in a game camera. I packed in a drone. I packed in
an AR-15 to defend himself.
AR, maybe.
Halfway through, he had a coyote on his shoulder.
There may have been a time where Jennel just hiked all the way back to the car just to grab a bunch of beers and snacks and came back. Maybe, so there's things.
Yeah.
Okay, Tim, I'm going to pull up a couple of comments and let you read them because my throat's getting a little sore. So
I got you, buddy.
Give me a second here. Here's the first one. If you can read this one, Tim.
What do you call a group of birds that always stick together? Velcros.
Here's one more for you. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hold on. Where'd it go?
Well, we'll ask it anywhere. What did the llama tell his friends before going on the hiking trip? Alpaca lunch.
Nice.
I approve of both of those.
These are very much Ben McMillan. Is this a cousin of yours by chance, Ben? Because these are the types of jokes that you like.
It's actually Ben's other account.
Yeah. You see me type
Rob does have some dad jokes. I'm just saying.
Thanks for sharing, Box. I do love a horrible joke, which they both were, but horrible in the best way.
I got the first Vox one I got on my stream was, why couldn't the ghost go to the dance? Because he had no body to go with.
I saw that. I didn't get it at first. I just kind of scrolled past it. Now I get it.
Let's bounce back to Booper's question about asking Parker about her footwear, because I was part of that. Like I think I know your answer. I'm going to let you share though. What was your feeling on footwear? What'd you choose, and what would you do differently?
Yeah, so I am a little bit of a runner, nothing serious whatsoever, but I just use a pair of my old running shoes. They were the Hoka Era Highs. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but yeah, they were a very mild out, worn down running shoe. And it was just like, I'm not going to buy a pair of shoes for this. I don't know if I'm going to like it. So I'm just going to use an old pair of running shoes.
That's fair.
They were okay. They could have been better. They didn't have much traction going downhill with the leaves, like needed a little bit of a tree assist at some points. Did not have much traction at all. Going through the rocks, I could have I could have cussed myself out for my shoe choice at that moment because my feet were really hurting. I didn't get any blisters though. I didn't have any problems. If I had to go on a hike this weekend, I probably would stick with them, but I'm already looking into proper hiking shoes, and Jennel has a good pair of hiking shoes that I thought were cute. So yeah, I'm doing my own research. I'm definitely going to get a pair of actual hiking shoes, but that's what I wore.
Jennel, what are you rocking for cute hiking shoes?
I just bought a new pair of La Sportivas, and I
Nice.
don't remember. Maybe Rob remembers because we went into the store in Boulder, Colorado, and I tried a bunch on. They
Are they
fit
like
my
the-
feet well because I have narrow feet.
Like the Valkyrie or a Kaya or something like that.
I
Like
think it
La
was the-
Sportivas are really good for skinny feet people, which is not me. I'm a fat foot person, So I rock the same shoes as Ben. We got the Topo Athletics, and those have been great for me.
Yeah,
I just
I love
picked my Ultras too because
Yeah,
in
those are
Colorado
ultra
they're
killers.
awful with rocks.
Yeah, Topos are the ultra killers in my book.
Oh, you have Hokas too. What Hokas do you have?
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's a good answer. You're not
The
not
ones that fit
nerdy.
my feet and were recommended by the person that worked at the shoe store.
They're Canadian exclusive. Actually, you can't get them.
Yeah,
here,
they're actually maple. They smell like maple syrup.
and they convert to hockey skates.
Yeah, they're like wheelies, except a little blade comes down and you can go across the ice.
Oh my goodness. All right, real quick, I'm gonna jump in and then you can take over again there, Devin. Just real quick, the code is DIG, and that's the way you get a trial for 50% off. It could be any of the trials we have from Apex Giant. All you have to do to get that 50% off is add anything else to the cart. That card will be full price, but it could be something for $1, like a sticker if you want. And then you get that trial for 50% off. And you can do, I think, up to 3 trials in one shot and still get the same deal. And back to the affiliate program. So if you have a social media presence, you can sign up for our affiliate program. It's at the bottom of our website on any page there. Sign up. It's easy to do. It doesn't cost anything. You just use some links and codes and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And if you are a new hiker, we have a huge resource at the bottom of that page too. It's called Hiker Resources. A lot of tips for new hikers, a lot of information in there. And actually, Tim just put out a video on his channel. If you want to plug that for a second, Tim, I'll let you do that, and then Devin can take over. Tim, tell them about your recent video you made.
I do not wish to plug my video. Thank you, Ben.
Back to it anyway.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I demand it.
No, it's just a Buckley version of trying to give as much advice as possible.
It's really good.
It was
Thank you,
really
bud.
good.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You forgot
No,
the have fun part though, and that's the most important part.
Well, because normally I go for mediocrity, and on this one I turned it up a notch to like mediocrity plus. So
Pro
no, anyway,
edition.
yeah. I think that I gave the best advice that I could.
It was well done.
I appreciate that.
Very well done.
Yeah, thank you.
So tell them what your channel is.
Oh, yeah, it's called Backpacking with Buckley. It took me years to come up with that title. It served me well, but yeah.
Joey liked your video.
What all trails liked your video?
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Your cousin even called me and told me they liked your video. Okay, back to you, Devin.
Yeah, thank you. So, did you know about the hiker resource at Hilltop Packs website, Parker? Did you read that before you went? Oh, okay.
No,
well,
I just talked to Ben and Buckley and my dad.
So, Parker, before I forget to mention it, I'm not trying to. Devin is the youngster on the screen before you joined us here.
I'm really old.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the hobby in general, if you go look at a lot of the YouTubers, I know there's young people out there, but be an ambassador for us. We need the business here at Hilltop Pack, so we need to exploit people for that as much as possible. But
can you get a tattoo on your forehead?
Yeah. But B, not to make light of your generation, but as you know, it's very digital, very there's some stereotypes that hopefully won't ring true, but people like you with loud personalities and that are smart and capable you're the next generation of people to introduce the young people to the outdoors, so long as we don't burn them to the ground before you turn my age. But not to be pessimistic, but yeah, I think I just need to say about Parker that I'm sure Patty did the best job Preston somehow got
Preston
lucky and
was
must
there.
have taught her a thing or two. But you should be proud, parents. She's a great young lady, and yeah, I was very impressed. First timer, and I'm glad you liked it. It made my heart very happy to know that you liked it. I think it's good to know that people still want to get outside, and yeah, maybe Ben, if we kick ass in the next few years, and Parker doesn't like being a pilot, because I heard it's kind of a lame job. It's not that exciting. Maybe she'll come back and sew at Hilltop Packs or do some video.
If that
Or-
doesn't take off,
or
then you
we'll
can
just-
always
if that-
work for Hilltop.
We'll get a corporate jet.
That's what I was thinking.
Ooh,
First thing that popped into my head.
Yeah,
Yep.
Tim, why are you being a pessimist? Come on.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I
Yeah, we only
I'm
have
eating
to
crow right
900x
now.
the company.
yeah, 900X.
Well, two things. I forgot. Parker did take a pour over Apex Giant
Nice.
coffee. She enjoyed that. And I have a second daughter that already said, F that. Well, I'm not doing it.
That
All
was
four of my
also
kids
me
want
5 years ago too, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did have a Apex Giant pour over. That was legit. I'm a coffee girl, and
You were stoked. You were
yeah,
so
I
stoked.
didn't
Was
even
that
do one day
Hilltop
in the woods
coffee?
without.
Was
Huh?
it Hilltop Packs coffee, or what were you drinking?
Unfortunately, it wasn't.
Oh,
Oh, I know. Sorry.
hashtag not mad.
No, it was.
Ugh. Disowned.
I'm kidding.
That was good. I love Hilltop Packs. I went there this week.
Use code Parker to save yourself.
I didn't know I could do that. I'm moving around. I didn't know I could do that.
What?
I'm
I
moving
didn't
around.
Moving
know
back
do
to
that
where I
either.
was. I
Oh
don't.
yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay,
But
Parker,
yeah.
question for you. So, what did you think it was going to be like before you went out there, and how much of that perception changed once you actually got out there and done it? Like, did you get out of it what you were expecting, or did you get so much more out of it?
Like I said, I really went in there with like horror stories that I've heard from my dad from the past 8 years. And like, I thought it was going to be terrible. I literally went in there with the lowest expectations. Like, maybe I'll get a good view out of it.
That's
I
a good
don't
way to
know.
go through life.
There's a
honestly.
reason why.
You can't be
That tracks.
disappointed.
That tracks.
There's a reason we call Preston Pissy Preston on the trail, because he just whines all the time. But he loves it. He does enjoy it. So-
Yeah, I really went in there with the lowest expectations. I thought it was going to be so terrible. I thought that it was going to be a miserable, 36 hours in the woods. Oh, not even that long. It was like 24 hours. But
It was the best time of your life.
it was so fun. And I really am so mad that I went at the in fall. And it's kind of like the end of the season. Now like winter's coming. And like someone mentioned earlier, like they couldn't go all winter. Like they couldn't wait till spring to go backpacking again. I kind of feel like the same way. Like I just want to go again. Like I would go this weekend if I could. Like I have some plans this weekend, but I really loved it. And I'm so glad that I did it. But yeah, I went in.
Don't let the winter thing scare you, though. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's not as bad as you think. Like when you're hiking in, man, you're still sweating, you're still hot because you're moving. And don't go below zero. I think my sweet spot's like between 10 and 20 degrees at night. I'm talking. So if it's hovering on in the 20s during the day, it gets down closer to zero at night, you're good. It's not bad. It sucks for a little bit when you first get up in the morning. But at your age, it's like my problem is I can't move for the first half hour. So you're definitely not gonna have that problem. But the rest of it, hanging on the fire, there's nothing like it. It's awesome. You
I
have
love
to try
fire.
it. You have to try it. You got to try winter camping.
You have to switch your mentality. I find with winter camping, like there's some people that'll go long distances and do whatever else, but I know like Rob and Miyagi, when they go out there, you guys aren't going like crazy miles, and you guys generally live for like the camp life while you guys are there, right?
Yeah, so I mean, we will go up into like the Boundary Waters area, and we'll probably drag our toboggans, 3 to 5 miles in. So I mean, we're still out there, and help is not that close. Even if you are close to the trailhead, help is still not that close. But just like you said before, there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad gear and bad planning, right?
Yeah.
Winter camping in hot tents, one of my favorite things in the whole world. I actually have something called the Hot Tent Society. Find it on Facebook if you want to find out about hot tent stuff and events in Minnesota as well. So Parker, get hot tenting, invite open, and you too, Jeremy, and of course Princess Patty.
And Denver.
Parker, I do have to say one of my favorite things was during the winter season on a day off, drinking coffee in the morning. I would just start planning my next hikes out west or wherever you want to go and just drink coffee, go on YouTube, check those out, and just make, a list of notes of your bucket list places.
Yeah, you're gonna be flying around. You're gonna be a pilot. So, are you
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
a traveling
to
pilot? Or are
Arizona.
you gonna stay in the same place? What is your plan? What do you want to do?
I feel very open to like any type of career, whether it's like airlines or private jets. I'm very open right now. I'm kind of in a spot that I can be open. And I was saying earlier, like, hey, I've got all this lightweight gear with Hilltop packs, and I have the best of the best. So what I can do is just take it all with me and bring a good pair of shoes. And if I do end up in like a really beautiful place, like whether it's like Wyoming or Colorado or anything like that, maybe it would be really cool that during my layovers I can go on like a day trip or do something fun like that. And now I feel like a whole new part of my life has kind of like opened
A
up
whole
with not being
new
scared.
world.
That's right. As you look towards your career as a pilot, so your
bad.
head's
Thank
kind
you.
of in the clouds, right? But now you have a source to keep you grounded by keeping your feet on the trail. So you have best of both worlds.
Yeah.
That
I
was a
know
great analogy, Rob. Good job.
Poetic.
You have so much runway in front of you.
I have so much runway left.
All right, that one crashed
that's
and
what it
burned,
was.
Rob.
That too.
I stole that from Rob. I'm sorry. Okay, so we talked about backpacking. We got about 10 minutes left. Let's dig into the pilot stuff. So you're going to be a pilot. Where are you at right now? And we'll backtrack and talk about how you started. But what stage are you in right now?
So 2 weeks ago, I finished up my
Denial.
school journey. Yeah. A lot of imposter syndrome. That's what I'm going through right now. So 2 weeks ago, I just finished up my year-long flight school journey. I went to an accelerated flight school called ATP. Some people on here may have heard of it before. It's pretty popular. So I did most of my training in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I'm probably
Nice.
going to be ending up back there to be a certified flight instructor down in Raleigh. So I am a commercial multi-engine single engine pilot and a CFI, CFII, and MEI for people that know what that is. So I have
Nope.
all of that under my belt. Yeah.
I know everything about
Obviously.
CFI.
Okay, wait,
so-
wait.
I wanna
Mom
know.
got to chime in for 1 second.
Okay, girl.
So, Parker, how many tests did you take to get all this in a year?
I took 7 check rides. to
Okay,
get all
how
the-
many check rides did you fail in 1 year?
None.
How many check rides have other pilots failed in the last year?
I've seen a lot of people go through the program and some not make it out. Some have a couple check ride fails under their belt and everything. It's just really bad whenever you're going to get hired and everything like that. But I luckily came out unscathed.
And in Raleigh, in a year, how many people have went unscathed in a year?
Just me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mom sounds proud.
Very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Should be.
Yeah, so that's where I am. I just finished flight school, so now I'm going through like the hiring process of working for another flight school, becoming a flight instructor, teaching the next generation of pilots. But yeah, when it comes to like long-term goals, I still haven't decided whether I want to go to the airlines or if I want to do some like private jet charter companies. So if anybody knows of anyone hiring, let me know. But yeah, so I think that'd be really fun to fly to places and on my layovers be able to explore.
So what got you into this? You're from the same town I grew up in, which is Crucible, which is a very, very small town in Greene County, which is also a very small county in
She
Pennsylvania.
wanted to get as far away from there as possible, probably.
What is that big thing in the sky that could rescue me? How do I get on it? So what was the first sense that you wanted to go down this path? How old were you?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like always have kind of had an interest in it. My first time going on like a airplane was I went to Disney when I was, well, I guess I went to San Diego, but my first like remembering time that I went to Disney, I was on an airplane and I thought that it was really, really cool. And then after that, I went on a couple of vacations on airplanes and I always thought like the airport was just like a magical place. Like I thought going to the airport was so fun. Getting on the plane was so fun. Taking off, feeling the acceleration in your body, like that was so amazing. And then I just always thought it was so cool and badass. And then one day I was a senior in high school. I like had all these plans. I wanted to be a PA. And we were in class one day and they were talking about like childhood dreams. And I was like, I don't really know if I like had a childhood dream. So I kind of like sat with it and I like thought about it. And it kind of was like, I guess I always thought it'd be really cool to be a pilot. And then I was like, I still think it'd be really cool to be a pilot. Why am I not being a pilot? And then after that, my whole life changed. And I was like, I can do this. There's nothing stopping me. Well, there's a lot of barriers to get into aviation, but I just didn't let them hold me back. And I had so much support from mom and dad to chase my dreams. And I had a lot of mentors, and that is what got me here, honestly.
That's awesome. So if your parents would have taken you to Disney on a bus, you'd be a bus driver. Is what I'm getting from the story,
You'd have been
right?
a bus driver.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I'm
I don't
sorry.
think
I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
That was good.
Yeah,
No,
that's how I got
that's
there.
awesome. I mean, again, not that where you come from makes a massive difference, but there's no, we don't have any like big airlines around us. We don't even have a lot of planes flying over top of us or anything. So for that to be a thing you got interested in early on, then you want young kids to be exposed to a lot of things. The fact that you're exposed to an airplane early on like that is pretty cool. So
Yeah.
what's next? I know you said you have that, but like I know you have dreams of becoming an airline pilot or private. How close is that reality? Like, is it a year away, 5 years away?
Not 5 years, thankfully. So at this moment, I have a little over 250 hours under my belt. And I need 1,500 hours before I can get my ATP, which your ATP is what allows you, it's airline transport pilot, that allows you to go work at the airlines. So if I become an instructor fairly soon, and I work my butt off, like I'm talking like 7 days a week flying, many hours a day, then I will probably reach the airlines within a year and a half, or private jets. But I hope to be 25 by the time that I reach my final goal of transporting people.
Very cool. So I'm gonna ask one more question, and everybody else can ask a question as well. We'll wrap it up. So I'm gonna ask the first question. It could be backpacking or airline related. So what is the biggest plane you've flown so far? Has it been a jet? Has it been prop? Like, what is the biggest plane? And describe it, because I have no idea what planes are.
I would say when I got my multi-engine rating in is a Piper Seminole, and it is not big. It's just a multi-engine airplane. It has two 180 horsepower engines, and it only seats 4 people. That is 2 pilots, 2 passengers, or 1 pilot, 3 passengers. So it doesn't fit very much. It's a very light twin, so it's nothing crazy at all. You can look it up.
How do you go from that to a big, massive jet or passenger jet? How do you do that? Is it just training at the airline?
Yeah, so whether you get hired with the airlines or if you want to get your type rating like in a King Air or anything like that, you're going to go through some training with that, many hours as like second in command, simulator training. They don't just put you in there and expect you to fly it. That's dangerous. So you have you have to know the plane inside and out that you're flying. So you have a lot of studying that goes into it. And a lot of people say like whenever you become a pilot, you're committing to lifelong learning too. You have check rides the rest of your life. Like I took 7 check rides and they are not over. You still have a lot more to go. So yeah, it's a lot of learning throughout your life, but it's so worth it.
Very cool. Parker's dad, what question you got?
When you going to pay me back?
That was so good. They're going to leave it right there. Don't even answer. You were rolling it.
I don't have an answer.
Devin, Nick, you're up.
Oh, dream hike now that you've been bitten by the bug. Have you been bitten by the hiking bug?
Yes, I have.
Dream hike now. What do you want to do? What do you want
I
to
have been
conquer?
looking online a lot at some like things that people are doing, and Switzerland is looking pretty nice.
Switzerland is
I
very
can't remember
nice.
what it's called, like LeBlanc or something like that.
Tour de Mont Blanc.
Yeah, Tour
Yeah.
de Mont Blanc.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
That's in Canada, right?
Can it interest you in the river trail, like right down like a mile down the road?
I liked it better when you were muted.
All right, Tim, you're next.
Oh, I'm on the spot. Come back to me. Let's go to Rob. I didn't really think of one because I was listening.
Rob, you're next.
Well, there's
Nice.
a little bit of a theme here. So it seems like you're very goal oriented and you go after those and you see the barriers and you go after them, whether it's going, to be a pilot or taking on this backpacking mantle, right? So have you thanked your mom yet? Because I know Preston had nothing to do with it. So have you done that?
Yeah, I try and say thank you however I can. Like I said, they completely supported me and told me I could do it. And it's actually my dad's fault that I'm a pilot because growing up, he had me driving every four-wheeler, anything with wheels. My dad was like, "You can do it, drive it." And I was like, "Okay." So then I kind of leveled up and I got bored with all the things with wheels. So I decided to go with wings.
I love it. Oh, and also we did ride into town with Parker the other day, and she drives a stick shift. So how many people can actually do that?
Nice.
How many people can fly a plane, Rob? That's way more impressive than a stick shift.
Yeah, but is that a stick shift?
How long are we holding on to that one, Rob? We just talked about airplanes and dual engine.
No, it's
Art.
so funny. I'll like meet a
Digress.
guy and I'll be like, "Yeah, like I'm a pilot." And he's like, "Oh, like that's cool." And then like if they get in my car, they're like, "Oh my God, you drive stick? That's crazy." Like, right. Okay.
All right,
Oh,
Tim.
that's so
Don't ask her if
funny.
she drives a stick. You're next.
I will not. So
She drives a car, not a stick.
Parker, you checked out the hammock for about 3 minutes. If you had to decide tomorrow if somebody's going to give you a really nice tent or sleeping pad or a really nice hammock, which would you choose if you had to?
That's such a good question. I think that I like the walls of the tent. Like the hammock is a little too exposed. Like I'm just imagining me sleeping and opening my eyes and a deer be like right here looking at me. I think I like the walls of the tent, although the hammock is extremely comfortable. And I do have a hammock that I sleep in like outside, like on like naps and everything. But
It's just a false sense of security, I assure you.
yes, that's what Tim said, a full sense of security. But I think I'm gonna go if someone were to gift me a tent, FYI, I don't have one.
Hey,
Tim,
Dan Durston, if you're listening.
Ben let me borrow his, so I actually don't have a tent. I would really like one.
You can
What
borrow
tent was it,
anytime.
Ben?
Nemo.
Okay, nice.
Which one was it? Do you know?
The,
Tim?
It was
the Hornet, I think.
Hornet,
I think it's the Hornet, yeah.
Nice.
It was a 2-person.
Yeah, I got a couple of Nemo tents. I really like them.
Nemo makes good stuff. Yeah.
Okay, Janelle, you got a question loaded up.
Well, I'm an anxious person, so I want to know your most anxious time while flying a plane.
Oh my gosh, I thought you were gonna say during the hike because it was with you. Whenever you and Rob were going off the lion's head, like that was the most anxious part of my hike. I thought you guys were gonna fall.
Were you scared of heights? I mean,
No, I'm not even scared of heights, but like they were literally hanging off of this rock, and I couldn't do that.
Not in the
Okay.
sense of being Tourons, but from our angle, it looked really scary. It was one of those like, it looks really scary, but they weren't in danger. But yeah,
Rob's crazy, it's
we were
fine.
all freaking out. Preston too.
Okay, so my most anxious part of when I was flying. That's your question?
Yeah. Was there any scary moments?
Yeah, this one time really sticks in my brain. So I went up. I really wanted to fly this day, and I was in check ride prep for my instrument check ride. And so I went up with my instructor, and we both did. The weather wasn't beautiful, but we both were like, okay, like clouds are not a problem, icing's not a problem. The weather looked like it was not going to hit us or anything like that. We both did a really good weather briefing. We got the weather and everything. We decided to go up, and the weather decided to come in very unexpectedly. And so we're flying up there. We are getting tossed around. So we are in a light single engine. It was a Piper Archer. We are getting absolutely rocked. And I'm flying this approach. The winds were insane. I'm coming in, and there's just this, after the airport, it is a wall of rain. And it's just, we know that we're going to go mist. And so we go mist, and we go straight into the shit. And we're just looking at this rain that's hitting us so hard. And we're like, oh my God, thank goodness it's not a thunderstorm. Thank goodness we don't have icing, but it was completely uncomfortable. We had horrible visibility, and we were just getting rocked. So we decided to come back in to, I trained out of RDU. So we came back into Raleigh. And as we're coming back into Raleigh, the clouds came in really low. And we're coming in, we're flying the RNAV 32 at RDU. And so we have like our minimums, and we're reaching our DA, and we are completely in the clouds. We're in the soup. And so we're coming in on our DA, and I eventually am like, I gave him controls because it was just more safe because he was the instructor. I gave him controls, and we had to go all the way down to minimums. And it was my first time ever taking the plane all the way down to minimums, and just the entire flight, the really terrible weather conditions, with all the rain, the clouds, the wind shear, zero viz, and coming down to the DA. And we literally saw, it was like perfect. We saw the runway whenever we hit the DA. So we continued and we were able to land it. And I have never wanted to be on the ground so much in my entire life. So there's a saying, it's like, you'd rather be on the ground than in the air wishing you were on the ground. Whenever you like, should I send this flight? Should I not? And that was one of the times that I really learned. And it was very good of the timing that I learned that in. I wasn't by myself. I was with an instructor, and it was very controlled and it was safe. But God, that I was so anxious. Yeah.
I should have prefaced to your dad to turn his computer off. While you're telling the story. My bad.
Okay, so guys, we're about done. It's 5 after 10. So I'm not sure if we talked about this, but this is our last episode until November. So we finished up the month. We're going to take October off. I have a pretty busy schedule myself, and I think Devin wants to get settled into his house. He needs all the Wednesdays he can get. So we'll be back in November. And this whole format of doing more of an interview thing with some people has been pretty cool. We did that pretty much all month, and I like it. So, but we are going to do some more things. We pull people out of the crowd too. We'll do that as well. So we'll go around the horn real quick. Everybody can kind of talk about where they can be found. Preston, where can everybody find you at?
In my couch. That's it. I'm nowhere.
Devin, you're next.
I ride on Ben's coattails, Tim's coattails. You might see a little snippet of me on Rob's little drone snippet.
That's a good hiking buddy. You're a good hiking partner. I know I give you a lot of crap, but you're a good dude.
He really is. You are, my friend. Yeah.
All right, Devin, you're next.
Well, Parker, thank you for joining us today. It was really good. I'm so glad we could have someone on here who it was their first time. It's always good hearing that perspective. So thank you for coming on here. You can find me on Instagram at Salmon Outdoors or Salmon_outdoors. I will be doing some fishing out in Kimberley, BC, hopefully coming up next week not next week, 2 weeks from now. So hopefully some pictures of that coming up. So stay tuned. Rob?
Nice. Mr. Rob Pelton.
Yes. Unmute.
You can find me currently at the Airbnb along with Parker's dad. Parker, we're crashing there. But as far as online, you can find me on the YouTubes at Rob Pelton. I'm also on Instagram at rpelton1. So just hop on, say hi. Sometimes I put out videos, sometimes I don't.
Mr. Tim Buckley.
Yeah, thanks, Parker, for coming on. Well, you added some youth and pizzazz to the show. We'll have to have you. We'll have to have you back again. I never did get your hike out real quickly. Scale of up to 5. What was your overall rating of the trip? Because I didn't get. How was your hike out? Did it lower your rating? I think you were at like a 4.7 prior to hiking out.
The hike out was perfectly fine. The hike out was fine. The only reason that it wasn't a 5 whenever I was coming in was that last mile with the rocks. But yeah, no, it was perfect 5. I could not have asked for a better time.
That's awesome to hear. Disregard where I talked about my channel, so that's not important right now. But I wanted to bring up real quick, Ben, and everybody here and all those listening, watching Facebook, since we're going to be down for the month of October. We are having a group gathering, Hilltop on the Hill. I don't remember what
Hilltop Packs on the Hill.
Yeah, Hilltop Packs on the Hill. And we're going to put that out on Facebook with a formal invite sometime in October. So since we will not be doing this until November 1st, share with your friends. It's going to be an open invite, just a fun little event weekend here in Waynesburg, PA. So if you're able to make that, again, just look it up on Facebook, or you are welcome to DM me on Facebook if you need any information. We will share details as Ben and I get it organized. Thanks again, Parker.
So even though we're not going to do the show for a month, we're still probably going to do a couple of lives in the shop here and there. Me and Tim will do a couple different things. We'll talk about it. And we may do a pop-up at some point with all of us. We'll see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that first event, November 7th, 8th, and 9th. And if you have any questions, you can hit us up. We'll give you whatever information we have so far, but it should be a good time. Janelle, where can everybody find you at besides sitting next to Rob in that fancy car?
I know. Miss you, Rob. My just on Instagram, outdoor soul SOUL_N.
Parker's. Do you even want to tell anybody where you're at, where they can find you? There's some weirdos in here. You may not want to do that.
There's some weirdos in here.
Most of the weirdos are on the panel.
They're on the screen. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
on the screen.
No, I just have like Instagram. It's just Parker Pratt with 3 T's because 2 T's was stolen. So Parker Pratt. That's me.
Very cool. All right, guys. So we will see you on this thing in about a month. And thank you so much for tuning in. Any
Thanks,
last words?
everybody.
Yeah,
And a
thank
big
you guys. That
wave.
was so fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.